The other day, my friend Nick O'Neill posted a series of videos of himself testing out different settings for his upcoming series. He posted a few ideas. Him on a news set, him live on location doing a review, and a fast-paced story log of his day. He was asking the opinion of his friends and associates as to which one worked the best. So, having gone through this a few times, I asked him back, which one feels the most replicable for you and which one feels most comfortable?
Excellent question.
Nick is going through what a lot of people setting out to start a new video series go through, a series of considerations that will start to define the visual signature of his videos. Now, I've worked with quite a few people on this stage of their series, and in my opinion, it is the most fun, but it's also pretty challenging, and there's a lot of pressure.
It is recognized that you have a funny sense of fun.
So today I'm going to go through the process of helping you figure out your set and framing for your series and walk you through some of the options. And hopefully at the end of this, you'll have a whole bunch of ideas. My name is Tara, and this is Truly Social. When I first started making these videos, I didn't have a lot of space, but I knew I wanted a bit of a set. Having a set creates familiarity and makes your series really easy to replicate. A set doesn't have to be complicated or take up a lot of space. It can just be a corner of a room. Some examples of sets are a bookshelf in your home or office, a wall filled with cool posters or fan art, a room in your home like a bedroom or kitchen as a backdrop, a blurred out backdrop that you can just set up quickly when it's time to shoot, a colored roll of backdrop paper, a green screen, a whiteboard or blackboard, and the list goes on. How you pick your set depends on what you want to do with it and how you want to come across in the video. Your set will say a lot about you and the message that you want to get across.
So, what are you trying to say?
Now, though I started in my own living room, I eventually got an office and had a bit more space to build my dream set. I found this amazing rocket wallpaper on wayfair.com and had this gorgeous neon sign of the Truly Social rocket made by Sunset Neon. The set actually doubles as a little meeting space and is also going to be the future home of our live stream talk show too. All along the way, I wanted my set to be bright and cheery and fun. I wanted to reflect my own personality as well as soften my sometimes snarky rants.
You don't say.
Now, if you want to do a lot of animations and in-set videos and images, you might want your set to be a little less busy than mine. Two of my clients, Nancy and Ben, have plain backdrops because they really love the idea of using lots of imagery and illustrations to really explain the complex topics that they're discussing. We use a blue backdrop for Nancy as the color is really flattering for her and it reflects her more animated personality. But Ben, he has a wonderfully dry, no-nonsense delivery. As soon as I started screen testing him, he kind of reminded me of Scott Galloway of L2 Inc. So I recommended a very plain gray backdrop with the addition of more mathematical and kind of geeky illustrations and pops of neon to bring it all to life. Another thing to consider is your framing. Are you going to appear in the camera waist up, chest up, shoulder up, sitting, standing, leaning, perfectly centered, to the side, or maybe this side? I find that the closer you position yourself to the camera, the more intimate the connection is to the audience. Too close may make people uncomfortable and seem aggressive, though people like Zay Frank have been masters with this. But too far back may seem distant and standoffish. Full length is rarely desirable and can come across as very corporate-y.
You're boring.
Unless you're demonstrating something that requires a full body shot, stay closer to the camera. Now, there is an interesting history with framing, and some of it may be due to constraints vloggers had in early days. YouTubers rarely, if ever, have or had a camera operator. So they would have to be close enough to the camera to control it themselves. So like, hit record, step back, go, blah, 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 step forward, hit stop, and so on. And many early vloggers used webcams, not cameras, which were only a few feet from the vlogger on their laptop. In this way, the intimacy of the close crop is almost a happy mistake of the limitations of the earlier technology. So we've become very used to a close crop, equating to a more personal feel.
Sure. Yeah.
So also to note, most YouTubers don't work with multiple camera angles. Once again, the limitations of budget and resources meant that early YouTubers would have one camera that they would and do talk directly into. A second camera is a luxury, something that you get when you have lots of money and maybe a crew. And the beauty of YouTube and other social media is that anyone can make a video and talk to an audience. In a lot of ways, more production creates more distance between the person in front of the camera and the audience.
Prepare yourself for a hot... What?
If you have more time and resources to put into your series, you can actually mix this up a lot. Really dedicated pros like Casey Neistat, who also have lots of different equipment, can take you with them throughout their day, setting up all sorts of different interesting shots that bring the viewer closer to the story.
Probably the most important thing to succeeding, whether it's in the vlog game, the YouTube game, or in the creative space at all, is this. You have to have your own thing.
I need something that's simple to set up and just go. I prefer to spend my time on the content itself, and I don't really have time to fiddle with equipment throughout the day. I do have clients that I do more various on-site shoots for, like Peter Gay, but even then we try to keep them as simple as possible so that we spend less time shooting and more time on the subject matter itself.
She needs to sort out her priorities.
Alright, that's just the beginning, and there is lots more ground to cover in the pre-production part of videos, including the topic of format, which I'll cover on a later date. But until then, if you enjoyed this video, you should check out the rest of my videos, and while you're at it, subscribe and click the bell to get notified when I publish new videos, which I tend to do pretty much every Sunday. My name is Tara, and this has been Truly Social.